All right, welcome, gentlemen. Welcome to everyone who may be watching on Ivan's channels. Welcome to everyone who's watching on the Calling All Men Facebook page and any of my channels. We are talking today about brotherhood, accountability, victory, momentum for the new year. And yeah, Ivan, I've got some big goals this year. I've got some goals that are going to require my.
I was guessing. Yeah.
Yeah, they're going to require me being all of who I am and my transformation. And whenever I'm doing something like this, I know I'm a much better man when I have warrior brothers holding me to account. When I got fun challenges, when I'm scoring the metrics, and I found out you got this program called Grit. And I was like, I'm in. Let's invite the Calling All Men audience. And Hans Komain is in as well. So, what are you excited about for the new year, and what are you hoping to get from these 29 days of rugged challenge as warrior brothers?
I'm excited about my son starting to walk, starting to become a person I can connect with, speak with. I'm excited about the fact that I've really reconnected with my purpose, and I now get to do things like this again, feeling like I'm doing it from the right place. I'm excited about, a bit anxious about various things going on in the world. There's a lot that I feel is changing, and not necessarily for the better, and that makes me committed to doing what I can to ensure that my little family unit and the people that I love will be served by how I'm showing up. So, 2024 is, I think it's going to be a ride. I think you're breaking up a little bit.
I think a lot of
me.
people are expecting madness.
Are you back?
Yeah, I'm about to share a screen here. That might be why it's loading a bit funny here. There we are. I don't know who put those three ugly fellas on screen there, but this is this is the webpage for Grit, this program that me and Hans are jumping in and inviting other warrior brothers to join. Start 2024 committed, accountable, victorious, with momentum. Yeah,
indeed.
I'm excited about it, man.
I'm glad. Yeah, I'm really stoked that you guys have decided to join. I feel like that's going to be an amazing contribution to the group. You guys got good energy, so.
Yeah, man, why don't you tell us a little bit about the program? Anyone who may be watching live or watching the recording. Anyone watching live, welcome you to comment. If you comment on the Calling All Men Facebook page, we can see your face and your name. We can interact with you.
Just gonna check if this is successfully streaming to my Facebook. I think it is, but yeah, it is. Super. Yeah, Grit is something that I designed back in 2022, and I've run it once before. Over the last 2 or 3 years, I've been in a strange place where I didn't quite know where I wanted to go with my life. Grit was a flash of direction and purpose in the middle of that period, and it was really an incredible month that we shared together, and it established a template for me around how I want to show up in my physical game and in my relationships and in what I put in my mouth and the kind of habits that I have. And it's an ongoing, it feels like, with screens and all of these fake dopamine cycles that we're all stuck in. it feels like a constant struggle to stay on top of like our mental health and just staying focused, right? So it became a month where I was thriving and so many of the men were thriving, and I knew that I had to do this again sometime, and that sometime is now. And the yeah.
I was just going to say, one of the, like every other app that we have and all the social media and all the other companies out there, they're all trying to addict us to their program.
Exactly.
They're trying to gamify everything that they do to get us addicted to their food product, their drink, their app, whatever it is. And one of the things I like about something like this is something that makes it addictive to play this game where the victories are the virtues and the goals and the values that you have, that you choose for yourself, not some company out there.
I really agree, because we are at the receiving end of so many gaming strategies that are deployed by people that don't actually care about us, and we're just numbers in their bottom line. And I think to take a paradigm that really they have abused and to transfer it to something that is really good for us, and to feel what happens when the game master actually loves you, or wants you to thrive, how different the experience is.
Back in 1997, my three younger brothers had been working for me in a landscape business. And I wanted out of the landscape business because I had some big ideas, some big things I wanted to do. But I saw, man, these guys who are making minimum wage working for me could each become entrepreneurs. There's no reason why not. And so I sold them on this vision, and I gamified essentially a boot camp for our lives and our businesses with, tracking sheets and getting up early. And we saw major transformation in short order. These guys quit smoking weed. We all got in shape at the next level. We're cheering each other's victories. It was one of the best couple months of my life. And to this day, all three of them are still entrepreneurs. 30 years, maybe almost 30 years later, 25 years later, 28 years later. Anyway. My youngest brother, who was a high school dropout, he's made hundreds of millions in the past decade with his businesses. Yeah.
Wow.
So,
and that was based on the challenge that you put on for them back in 1997, you think?
It was like an initiation into complete responsibility for your life. And so, these guys went from not much responsibility to they're going around by foot, knocking on doors of wealthy people, selling themselves, and then having to deliver excellence in the product, hire people, manage people. Like these guys, seriously, were minimum wage earning, Nintendo playing, pot smoking guys hanging out, just doing nothing. And so what happened is this radical new level of responsibility with the fun and the excitement of the next level of responsibility and a vision, like their vision that they were chasing, just made it so powerful. So that's kind of my default way of understanding what you're doing here, is creating a container like that, that just makes it so exciting to shift to that next level.
So it sounds like this is a game that you're familiar with. Why have you decided to join?
Because I don't have a game like this going on right now.
Right.
Hans and I, sometimes over the years, we set up a game throughout the year. Right now, we don't have one. And I simply know I'm a better man when I'm playing a game with brothers and I know that they're watching my performance. I said I'm going for these victories, and I wanna show up. So yeah, and I dig who you are, man. I dig, I dig what you're doing with men. So yes,
Thank you, man. Yeah. Yeah, it's been good to meet you over these last couple of weeks. I've been loving what you've been up to, and I dig you as well. And I don't know, the people that are watching this don't know that we have a backstory, because back in the days, I had your folder sitting on my shelf, and I took it out as well. I looked at it, and I was working on this Vision Force program that you had back then. I don't remember that much of it, because it must be like 20 years ago or something like that. But it was so much fun to see you come up as like a face again, because I haven't seen you anywhere for I don't know how long.
yeah.
And I think you've just been traveling and going into the soul or something like that. And so to now have you come and join this is it's fun how these cycles play out over a lifetime. You're in somebody's program, they're in your program, and so I find that fun.
Yeah, I've been on a 15-year sabbatical. I let go of my Vision Force work intentionally back then to go on this journey that I felt I really needed to go on. And what I'm doing this year is I'm returning to my life's work in a big way. And man, I have resistance, I have, there's fear, there's resistance, So I want to have everything on my side, I want to tell people who I am and make these commitments, and, know that they're watching me also, and voting my victory. So yeah, it's been a long, crazy journey. Ivan, why don't you tell us about grit?
Yeah. So more of it is that we have 29 days together. We're going to be dedicating 1 week to each of the 4 core life dimensions. But the 4 core life dimensions in my work is clarity, courage, connection, and creation. And then the 5th, yeah, there you have it. The 5th dimension is the one that is central to all 4 of the core life dimensions, and that's commitment. So in order to ensure that you have clarity instead of confusion, you need commitment. In order to know that you have courage instead of cowardice, you need commitment. In order to have connection instead of conflict, you need commitment. In order to have creation instead of consumption, you need commitment. And so it's a way for the men to have a really intensive experience of what it means to be inside of this kind of work. I call this the 5D man lifestyle work, for a month. And the main focus is probably the courage dimension, because courage is a lot of finding the warrior inside of you, and the ability to set a boundary, say clear no, to stand in a confrontation, to also take care of your body, so that you have the ability to back up your words, and you feel this kind of embodied self-confidence. So as you can see here, you have this thumbnail for the video. This guy is doing the ropes, and you're going to have an opportunity to do a lot of physical workouts if you're not already doing that. I think it's absolutely essential to have a solid and consistent and rigorous physical regimen. Why don't you put on the sound for it? I don't know if you may need to restart. There you go. Yeah, it's just a little bit of a taste of sort of the feel of the journey you're going on. It's a bit choppy, but yeah. So I think that commitment to thrive is. Let me just speak openly. I think as men right now, um, we have a duty to be seriously committed to doing whatever we can to be the kind of man that has the resources and the courage and the ability to be a man who can serve and support and protect his loved ones. Because this world is right now mental. And now I live in Sweden, and the prime minister in Sweden is starting to beat the war drums and say, Swedes, you need to prepare for war. We're going to war. Like, what? Sweden has been a neutral country, and now you're telling us that you're desperate to go to war. So we have this kind of attitude from high up that is very destructive. And so as normal guys, it feels to me we need to have an attitude that is easily as constructive. But I'm loving that you're drinking from the Holy Grail right now when I speak this. Yeah, so it's something that I care a lot about. I could totally work myself up into a rah-rah and about why this is important. I think you feel similarly based on what you're writing, and I'd love to do that in a way that doesn't feel like heavy and dark, but that feels fun, and that we feel like I'm celebrating other men, and that we're doing it in camaraderie and with love. So really, that's what Grit is all about.
Yeah, and I'm inviting everyone who joins us in Grit. We're going to also add them to our Band of Brothers 12-week program. So, yeah, everyone is also welcome to participate in that. That's with 12 of our Calling All Men mentors, including you. We've got dozens of great men in there who are focused on creating bonds of brotherhood with each other. So, yeah, now is the time. Hans is going to be participating in it as well. And he and I, as I mentioned before we started here today, he and I often repeat the refrain. And I don't know if I came up with this or I heard it somewhere, but it's like our mantra now. Men don't need gurus. We need warrior brothers. We need men who have our back, fighting alongside us. We don't need another guru to worship or passively follow. We need men who are going to stand with us. If things really do get crazy this year in 2024, which there's a lot of indications they really well might, our ability to withstand it, our ability to stand up to the pressures that might otherwise have us compromise our virtues, our values. Our power is in large part our people,
Yeah, that's true.
And the men who have our back. So I think something like this is worth participating in for the brotherhood alone, even to find one brother to come out of this who's then like a brother for life. I mean, that's priceless. So, yeah. And they say men bond on the battlefield or on the training field. It's where we get tested. It's where we, might have to go back for a fallen brother, carry another brother on our shoulders. And this is where we forge bonds of brotherhood. So
I think also that because of that, we men often end up creating problems for ourselves that we don't need, so that we can feel like we can solve them. And my wish with this is for a man to get clear on his priorities, that he doesn't need to fuck around with creating all of these artificial problems in order to feel like he has purpose in life, but that there's actually some real things for him to actually look at and be proactive. Because God knows I have spent a lot of time in my life with my ladder up against the wrong wall, and just doing a ton of activity, going through various to-do lists, solving problems, but not making progress. I'd like this to be different for you guys who join. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm sure you'll be playing full out, as will Hans and I. Hans and I are extremely competitive. So we'll at least be competing at a very high level about each other, for bragging rights and to be able to talk shit to each other after the program's over.
I think what I love about that you guys are here is one of the repeat men that is coming back this year. He won the last round. He was the champion at the end. I think he felt that he wanted more guys that were going for it as deeply as he was, or like as fiercely as he was. And he was just a little bit ahead of everyone else, and so it was an easy win for him. But I have the sense that with you guys being in it and some of the other guys joining as well, this one could be like a feisty one, and I really look forward to it.
Yes. All right, man. Well, any men watching this, we start tomorrow, Monday, January 15th. And although we start tomorrow, if you see this on Tuesday or Wednesday, it won't be too late to get in. You can still join us. It's a 29-day intensive program. I'm including my 12-week band of brothers. And Hans and I might do an extra call or two to support men as well. So yeah, if you're a brother out there, it's time for, like, maybe you've been down, or you've been in a rut, or maybe you've even had some years of having fallen down, and maybe this is your time for redemption in 2024. Maybe this is your time to know yourself, or remember who you really are in the presence of brothers.
Yeah, then this is a great opportunity, and especially if, well, I started out saying that I've been in a strange place for a couple of years where I didn't know what my next steps were. And with you having been on a 15-year hiatus to discover the next steps of your journey, is like, this is normal. You sometimes the road is lost, and those are typically the moments where we get to integrate a lot of things that we learned from the past season of life, and we come to a resting place where we get to wait for the next stage to start. And if you feel like it's time for that next stage for you, if you feel like there's a fire that really wants to explode into the world now in a generative way, like you have passion, then Grit is designed for you to just break free from whatever life you live in now, and to reestablish yourself at a higher level of day-to-day functioning, basically in terms of when you get out of bed, how you start your day, how much sun you get in your face early in the day, which alone is actually a radical improvement in your life if that's something that you focus on. It's about what you put into your mouth. It's what you do with your body. It's how you respond to triggers from your wife or your kids, or so all of these things that typically, I know for myself, I screwed up around my integrity in a way that I don't normally do yesterday, or was it Friday? And it's like just one opportunity or one moment of having a lapse in my integrity, and I feel like the whole structure of my masculinity starts getting shaky, because my masculinity is based on being a guy in everyday encounters that I respect. And if I show up in a way that I don't respect, then my masculinity starts crumbling. And so this is about being a guy that you respect, because that guy has a lot more good things to give to the world than the guy that doesn't respect himself. So
yeah, and
questions. Oh no, that's you, right?
Yeah, Ivan. This is also, challenging ourselves and physical challenges and scoring victories of different kinds, even little victories throughout the day. These things also boost our testosterone,
Yeah, right.
Like a lot of us just sit in front of a screen all day. And if we don't have that, brotherly, friendly challenge and, going for the victory and then getting some victories, all kinds of men today are suffering from low testosterone. On average, we have half of what our grandfathers had.
Yeah, and it's getting worse.
Half the men our grandfathers were.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's not only because of the way that we show up, it's all of the endocrine disruptors in our food, in our air, in our cars. Actually, when we sit in the car and we put the heater on, it starts emitting these estrogenic compounds that actually reduce our masculinity. So it's pretty crazy when you think about how pervasive this attack on masculinity is. So culturally, psychologically, yeah, it's everywhere.
Yeah, it's a fight. It's the fight of our lives. It's literally a fight for our manhood. So
and it's the fight for the future of who we are as a species as well. Yeah.
All right, gentlemen. Well, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching our recording. Welcome you to join us in Grit. And level up.
If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me. You can reach out to me on my Facebook page, or you can use will this comment that I post here be a part of, or will it be under the video on the various places?
It should be. I don't know if it will be there on all of the places.
Right. Okay. Yeah, but you can go to groundandglory.com and there should be a place where you can contact us there as well. So
yeah, I'm posting a link in the comments. That link is the link to Grit. And you can also comment on any of these pages and we should see it.
Cool. So, yeah.
All right. Ivan, have a beautiful evening, Sunday evening with your family.
I'll see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.